to go boxes back there. See Yammer for help. Okay. So first, I want to thank you guys for coming. This is one of the first in a series, the way that we see things. It's going to be the first in a series where we bring people of political caliber to talk to us about the vision, about the issues. We are focusing on the issues and the matters that that we should be looking into a little bit further. We are, as an organization, we are not to endorse any candidate or any party candidate. We are focusing on the issues that pertain to us as a community. And our job is to create this educational webinars, or not webinars, like workshops like this, so that you can see and interact with the people and make up your decision. Most importantly is to go out and vote and participate. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, كنتم خير أمة أخرجت للناس تأمرون بالمعروف وتنهون عن المنكر. You've been the best nation. You've been the best in the nation. Why? Not because we pray 5 times a day, not because we do this or do that, not because of the 5 pillars, because you enjoy the good and forbid the evil. You have to take action to do something. Okay? We cannot just stay back and say things is going to get better. We cannot stay back and complain. We have to be active. The Prophet ﷺ said what? Said if you see something wrong, you have to try to change it. First, if it is under your control, then do it. If it's not under your control, then speak for it. If you cannot do that, then just by making dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Well, we can do a lot more than that. We have to participate. And we've been hearing that I'm just one voice, what exactly we're going to do? No. Alhamdulillah, one voice is enough to change or to tip the scale. I'm going to share with you a story that somebody actually shared with me. I'm hoping that you heard it before, but I'm going to say it anyway, about the starfish. People walking along the seashore, and they found a lot of starfish actually on the shore. And then they saw a little boy go out, bring one starfish, and throw it back into the sea. So the group laughed and said, what exactly are you going to do? There are so many of them. How are you going to save them? He said, took one and threw it back in the sea. I said, well, I saved that one. You do it little by little. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said what? قُلْ اعْمَلُوا فَسَيَرَى اللَّهُ عَمَلَكُمْ وَرَسُولِهِ وَالْمُؤْمِنُونَ. You just do the work. You have to do the work. The result is not on you. The work is on you. So you have to start doing your work. This is our work. As an organization, we're going to bring people to you to talk to. Okay? You need to come, you need to engage, you need to go out and vote your conscience. What exactly makes you will make that decision. I want to recognize a lot of people here. Alhamdulillah, we have guests. We have our interfaith friends. We also have people from our friends from Temple Sinai. We have Action. We have Wendy is actually running for the city council. Starks our district. We have also Laura from the census. We're going to be doing census education actually this coming Friday too. So we have a lot to do. This year is very active year, and we need a lot of your help. We cannot do it alone. Few people cannot do it alone. You will do it. It is the Muslim community that you will make a difference. The Muslim community this year, inshallah, will make a difference, inshallah. Jazakumullah khair. Now we're gonna go. I was supposed to speak for 1 minute, but now I took about 3 minutes, but that's okay. I'm gonna pass it to Brother Said, inshallah.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters, and honored guests. Mr. Khan, welcome to Reno. I would like to point out before I start that I am taking the liberty to speak as a Muslim, Pakistani, American community member, not at Northern Nevada Muslim community in any shape or form and capacity that I hold a position or I'm talking on behalf of Northern Nevada Muslim Community Mosque here. So I am just speaking as Pakistani American behalf of the community here. When I heard that Mr. Khan is coming to Reno, and we were kind of debating when he's coming, and then it was delayed, or is he coming or not. First, when I heard, it was so exciting. I told my children, I said, look, you remember that event? We had the convention, and he spoke up, and my son is old enough to remember that. He got pretty excited, and I said, well, I want to shake this gentleman's hand, who is helping and putting the seed in the ground like others, but he is coming from the same part of the region that I belong, which makes me very proud. So I want to thank you, Mr. Khan, for your service, that what you have done, especially your family and your brave son, Humayun Khan, for his ultimate sacrifice for our freedom and for this nation. Having said that, I would like to acknowledge our respected guest. He's a gold star father in giving us the opportunity to congregate with us and we want to hear his message, what he has to say. Like many Muslims and other interfaith communities that we engage and other faiths, in the United States we feel that American dream is being eroding faster rate than ever. And their voice, their loyalty and patriotism are being challenged. Muslim community here in Northern Nevada, and like other communities, we contribute in this community and exhibit the resiliency in challenging time. We are not behind, but we are shoulder to shoulder with everybody. In closing, I just want to say one thing. Regardless what our political affiliation is, or whatever the candidate that we might support, I take a liberty on behalf of Pakistani American Muslims here and Muslims in general that we like to extend our gratitude to Mr. Khan and his family and Humayun, who fought for our freedom for this nation. Thank you very much, Mr. Khan, and you're welcome to Reno. And I know he's from Pakistan, and I was asked he's from Punjab, so I was going to say Khush Ahmadid and Ji Ayanu.
Assalamu alaikum. You can hear me. Tonight, we are very privileged. We are very privileged to have with us someone who shares our values, who shares our hopes, who shares our aspirations and dreams. It really is a special occasion for us. It is someone who came to America with a dream, and he realized his dream to the fullest extent possible, the same way that many of us are trying to realize our dreams, particularly our younger generations. Let me remind you, as Muslims, we are all very familiar with the expression that Allah helps those who help themselves. God help those who help themselves. And brothers and sisters, I now present to you Mr. Khizr Khan. Almost all of you are very familiar with his background, and I'm not about to give you one. He will share with you his wisdom as to how we can help ourselves in chartering our future, in choosing the president who will reflect our hopes, aspirations, and dreams. He will focus, hopefully tonight, as to how best to participate in the caucus that's going to be coming up. Early caucus is going to be from 15th through the 18th, first time in Nevada, that you can participate the same way that we participated in the general elections. We have been doing it for many years, a couple of decades at least in the state of Nevada. And that the beauty of early caucus, the beauty of early primaries or early voting is that you can vote in any polling booth of your choice. You are not limited to your geographical precincts, geographical domain, if you will. And then after the early caucuses are over, then we would have the general caucus day, which is February 22nd. And it will be a daunting task as to who do we caucus for, who do we support, particularly given the fact that we had a very long list of candidates to choose from. So Mr. Khan is going to focus on that. He will try to kind of focus on which candidate is best equipped through lifetime experience to deliver to all Americans the best possible health care, for example. He will try to decipher which candidate may be best equipped to give us the kind of economic life that we dream of, particularly for the working class people, those who are wage earners and not very wealthy and not necessarily the stock market income derivers. And he is also possibly going to focus on which of these candidates may be best equipped to deliver the best possible education for us. And we all know, as we all know, particularly from the Asian subcontinent, particularly from the Middle East, and that part of the world, education is the ladder to upward social advancement. So education is big on our list, and hopefully Mr. Khan will focus on that as to which candidate may be best equipped to deliver the kind of education that we would like our children to receive. And most of all, he is going to focus on to our expectation that who will be best equipped to restore the liberty and justice for all that we all clamor for, and that is a part of the core American values that goes through the veins of all Americans, whether you are native-born Americans or non-native born Americans. I was very impressed with Mr. Khan's giving us some inspiring kind of pep talks, if you will, at lunchtime. And he said it is the first time Americans who are the best custodians of the First Amendment rights to be free, rights to be able to speak, and rights to be free of any fear, irrespective of your race and religion. So, ladies and gentlemen, again, the inspiring speaker that we have been waiting for, waiting for to hear from. Here is Mr. Khizr Khan.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be upon you. Honored guests, dear leaders, my interfaith brothers and sisters, welcome. Thank you for inviting, thank you for joining. I want to share something that is very little known. Why did we go to speak in that public forum? As a Muslim, I take my dictation, my order from the Holy Book. Holy Quran. And I want to come back to it towards the end of my conversation. In Surah Nisa, chapter 4, verse number 135, I know I am standing before learned sisters and brothers. Make a note of it. Surah Nisa, verse 135, tells all of us, those who believe stand out firmly for justice as witness to God. That is the dictation I take from Holy Quran, that I must stand firmly for justice. Now let me share with you why did we go to speak at that place where we had never thought, like many of us, first generation immigrants, we never thought we would be appearing at such a public forum. In December 2015, when then candidate Donald Trump announced he will ban all Muslims, Hispanics will be thrown out of here, judges are bad, women don't deserve equal dignity, equal respect. A newspaper reporter called me next morning and said, Mr. Khan, what do you think? You're a father of a fallen soldier, a Muslim. He's going to ban all Muslims. I spoke with him and I told him what I thought. And that article was published. It's still available on internet. Khizr Khan speaks to James King. And when that article was published, DNC picked up that article. And in their planning, they began to think that we would use this article as a tribute to Captain Humayun Khan. While that was taking place there, we were visiting with our sons, our grandchildren, and the family in Charlottesville, and living our peaceful life, totally disassociated with the politics and the national politics especially. Wherever I would go, people had known that I practiced law. After that announcement, I will ban all Muslims, Hispanics will be thrown out. Our family friends will bring their children, small children, elementary school, middle school children to me. And they would come and these children would whisper in my ear, said, where would we go? We are born here. We don't know. Our parents are born here. We are well-to-do. But they are telling us that we have to leave, we have to go somewhere else. Where would we go? So I would hearten them. I would read them 14th Amendment, Section 1, equal protection of law, that if you're a citizen of the United States, no one can deprive you of your rights. But these children were not heartened. I would call their parents 2 days later and they will tell me that children still don't eat well. They're not interested in homework. They're not doing well. I would again talk to these kids, and these were many, not 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, many children. In the meantime, DNC had prepared the tribute that is still available. Hillary Clinton pays tribute to Humayun Khan. They sent us the tribute and we approved of it. And a few days after the approval of the tribute, DNC called again and said, we are inviting other Gold Star families. Would you like to come and speak at the convention? Something told me that this may not be our cup of tea, because we are like most of you sitting here. We had never been in a public forum. We are private, humble, modest people. something told me to request that, can we call you back after we discuss among ourselves? They said, okay, you have 2 days, let us know day after tomorrow. So I immediately called my other children, and they told us, please do not go. This is not your cup of tea. We are not that kind of people. We don't participate in the politics. We don't participate in that kind of noisy politics. That has not been our tradition. And please do not go. I thought children are being very protective of their parents. I called some friends that are a little more savvy in political affairs. They told exactly the same thing, that we know you, we know your nature, we know your culture, we know your preference, we know how much you like your peace and quiet and your comfort. Do not go. So Ghazala and I discussed, and we decided that we will not go. And so the next day we are waiting to make a phone call that afternoon, and the mail truck passes by our home. Ghazala said, let's check the mail, and then we will make the call and we will apologize that we are not coming. I go to check the mail, and in the mail there is a white card, an envelope, no stamp on it. Somebody must have come to place that in our mailbox. And this is what the card says. 4 names on it. Name, 5th grade name, 5th grade name, 6th grade name, 6th grade. And this is what the sentence says. It said, Mr. Khan, Maria is our friend. She's a good student. Can you make sure she's not thrown out of this country? That sentence, written with care, with genuine concern, was so powerful. I read it 2 times standing next to the mailbox, and I brought the mail and that card home. Ghazala was in the living room. We were about to make the call to say to the campaign that we are not coming. I showed her the card. I said, look, the card that we got. She looks up to the card, she reads it, I am holding the card, and she looks towards me. Very few people know this, this background of that decision. And she says, call them. I thought she's going to say that call them, the decision that we had made earlier that we are not coming. And all of a sudden from her mouth comes, please tell them we are coming. We are going to speak on behalf of our children. These children, call them right now. So I looked at her amazed and surprised at her decision. And so we called and we told her that we are coming. We will come and we will speak. The rest is history. We spoke on behalf of our children because we were concerned. We are still speaking. Today is my 266th speaking engagement on behalf of our children. I have met those children. I have hugged them. You know what they said? When I asked them, did you listen to my speech that I gave on your behalf? They said, yes. We were heartened. We were encouraged that no one can throw us out of this country. Thank you. Sometimes we have to do the things that we don't want to do, but it is for the better of our future generation. That is what my Quran tells me. That is what my faith tells me. That is what my Prophet's example tells me, that you must do what is right. Stand for justice. Stand for fairness. It is for such reason we have continued to speak. We have continued to travel throughout the country. As I mentioned, today is 266. Recently, it has been for the campaign, Joe Biden. And I'll tell you why I have joined, as a Muslim American, as a patriotic Muslim American, why we have joined Joe Biden's campaign, why we support him for the candidacy of the president. I know there are other candidates as well, and I respect them, and I love them very much. How many of you are concerned about the Muslim ban? Ask yourself, how many are you concerned about how Muslims are being treated in China? The Uyghur Muslims. How many of you are concerned about the treatment of our Kashmiri brothers and sisters? How many of you are concerned about our Palestinian brothers and sisters? Are you going to continue to sit and continue to feel bad? Or are you going to do something about this? You have an opportunity. Let me share with you quickly what other communities have done when they have gone through the same difficulty and worse, what we are going through. In 1862, Chinese Exclusion Act was passed by this nation. Throw all Chinese out of United States, we don't need them anymore. We wanted them for hard work, for building the railroads and the roads. Now we don't need them, throw them out. Look where Chinese Americans are today. Same thing with Japanese Americans. I recently went to speak to veterans of Second World War, Japanese Americans. They invited me. I asked them a question. I said, how have you become such a forceful, such an influential community of the United States? In 1942, you were declared that you were enemy of the nation, and the families, women, mothers, daughters, children were put in the internment camps where sons and fathers fought with the United States Army. And they told me something that I want every Muslim sitting here to listen carefully, because this is your turn. They said, we realized that we will not have voice unless we came together and we did something. Said every Japanese American home had a piggy bank, the kitchen counter. Every day we will come home, we will empty our pockets in that piggy bank. Whenever there would be a political event, a fundraising, we will put those coins into a sack, and we will take and we will hand over this to the campaign. One candidate at a time, we became the community that they begin to come for fundraising. They knew that we will not say no. We will, regardless of the amount, we will contribute to the efforts. Irish Americans were considered, I have seen those signs which said, Irish need not apply. There was no job available to Irish Americans. They organized themselves, and within 30 years of those posters on the streets of the United States, Irish need not apply. They organized themselves, they came together, and they had first Irish American President John F. Kennedy. That is the result of organizing yourself. Our Jewish brothers and sisters, we think of them, we see that they have not gone the difficulties that some others have gone. In 1938, a ship with 900 Jewish men, women, and families came to New York. The entry was refused. They were all sent back, and most of them perished. They decided that we will not let that happen ever again. Same thing is with Catholic Americans. Catholic Americans were declared, these are spies of the Pope. They have come to destroy the United States, throw them in the ocean. And look where Catholic Americans are today. Out of 9, 4 Catholic Americans sit in the Supreme Court of